Welcome to the Uncommon Human Podcast, where we help you perform the common uncommonly well. Your coach for all things physical and spiritual is Derek De Rosario, who for 25 years has brought transformation to thousands of clients. With God's help, Coach Derek has overcome many adversities on his own journey of faith and fitness, and now he's the owner of Fit to Serve Fitness in Henderson, Nevada. Having discovered tennis at a young age, he excelled at the amateur, intercollegiate, and professional levels. Afterwards, he discovered the sport of CrossFit, and by 2019 had ranked #1 CrossFitter for the state of Nevada in his division. Having achieved all this, Coach Derek now considers himself an ambassador for Christ to help you in your journey to become the uncommon human through faith and fitness. Here with today's podcast is Coach Derek.
All right, we are here, the Uncommon Human Podcast.
Whoa.
It is time.
Whoa.
And we have guesting with us. Our guest appearance is Adam Castillo. Yes, Adam. Let's see your shirt, actually. Fit to serve. I didn't see that. Look at teens. I even see he's a teen. So he started back in the day as a teen. And wow, that shirt that's one of the vintage.
I didn't even do this on purpose.
You didn't even do this on purpose.
I didn't wear this shirt on
Isn't
purpose.
that funny how we pray and then all of a sudden God starts opening up things when we say open up, and here it is. Fit to serve teens. Well, let's start there. Fit to serve teens. Well, when did you start?
As a teen.
As a teen, you started. Okay, so share a little bit about that.
So 2014, I think I have the date memorized. 2014, okay. August 14th is when I started.
Okay.
Is when I started. I really only started doing CrossFit because of my mom, because my mom has done it for at the time did it for way longer than I did. She started when we first opened, and then about a year later she was like, hey, do you want to try it out, maybe see if you like it or whatever? I'm like, sure, whatever. Yes. Day one, I loved it immediately.
You loved it right away.
I loved it immediately, just because like growing up, I always loved being active and swinging around on bars or whatnot on out on the playground or whatever. And I walked in, I saw the rig, and the first thing I was like, oh, we got monkey bars up in this place. But and so we started doing basic introductory things like doing air squats or doing a ring row or whatever, push-ups and learning those basic things. But I loved it immediately.
Yes.
But and then I've been doing it ever since. It's 2022. I'm 23 years old now. I've been doing it since it was 2014. I've been doing it since I was 15.
15. Okay.
So I've been doing it for like 8 years now.
8 years.
8 years.
Wow.
8 years.
So it just happens to be we're talking about gymnastics today.
Gymnastics.
On the hierarchy. Take a look at the pyramid right there. It is the fourth component on the pyramid, and it's an important piece.
Mm-hmm.
It was an important piece when you started. Tell us a little bit about why was that important, and why gymnastics and all that good stuff around that.
Like I said before, so like growing up, doing things with being able to do things with my body was always like a really fun thing for me. Like whether I was at school, I was on the playground, I was always on the monkey bars or doing some wild thing with my body, trying to like swing and flip around, or just moving my body in weird ways however I could. And so gymnastics, and how we what that looks like in the gym.
Yes.
I was gonna say monkey bars, pull-ups, pull-ups, air squats, push-ups, anything to do with your own body weight and moving that in space, right? It was always a fun thing for me. One particular thing according to gymnastics was the muscle up.
Ooh.
The muscle up.
The muscle
is my favorite movement.
Wow.
Like
that's kind of like the CrossFit kind of hierarchy of what people want to do, right?
There's a lot of people that want to learn to do muscle ups.
Yeah.
And I love teaching the muscle ups so much.
Yeah.
Every time somebody comes up to me, is like, Adam, I know you can do a muscle up. Can you show me how to do that? And I just love teaching them that.
Yes.
It took me, I remember when I first started, and then maybe like several months into my first day, I heard about the muscle up. I saw it and I was like, whoa, I want to learn how to do that. And so I spent like every possible like moment I had in our classes, whether it's before or after, practicing like, just the motion, just getting a good like, sense of like what that rhythm feels like. Because that's always been a thing with me. I've always been good at kind of like, just kind of gauging like my body and what it's doing and the rhythm of things and whatever. So I spent like day after day doing that, and then after like a year I finally got like my first muscle up. It was about
was
like
it ring or was it
ring.
I remember you on the ring. I think you and Ricky got your muscle up at the same time.
The same day. I think it was the same
day. We were going through the progression and boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden you guys hit one and we're cheering and yelling and screaming. And
so Ricky was there. Now you bring it up. I was practicing it for a little bit, and then like I got like I had to get like a big swing in, but I got the biggest swing in. I got here, and I panicked because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm here now. What do I do? And so I pushed out of it, locked out, and then I fell to the ground. You guys were all in the front office, our first location, and you guys were in the front office, and I ran so fast up there. I'm like, you guys, I got my first muscle up, and it's like, come watch me do it again. And then like we go back, and then Ricky's up there trying to get his muscle up, and he gets his, and then like it was. That day to me was like it's very clear in my mind. Like I just remember everything. But like, it's things of that nature. Being able to like move my body around in a certain space, being able to do all those crazy things. Like I enjoy that so much.
But before getting the muscle up, there was some basic stuff that we had to kind of walk through. What was some of those pieces? Because I think a lot of people think of gymnastics as like doing backflips, doing somersaults, or back handspring or whatever that is. And I think you mentioned it earlier. It's just kind of like body awareness or
body awareness,
controlling your body in space, right?
So
what did you need to learn? And if you guys don't know what a muscle up is, basically bringing yourself over the rings in the catch position and pushing out. It's basically a pull up and a dip kind of combined together, but then there's a transition piece which you have to kind of work through. So it's really in gymnastics, it's the start of how they do their rings. They start by getting up and doing a muscle up. In CrossFit, it's kind of the claim of fame of getting one muscle up, right? So in gymnastics, we just get to kind of skim over a piece of what they just perfect and do really well. But tell us, like, what do you need to do in training to get a muscle up? What do you need to learn?
I think one of like the first things you need to be able to accomplish before even getting a muscle up is being able to do a pull up. And there's a lot of people, that, are not able to do pull ups. And then from there, how
many pull ups do you think you do? Strict pull ups or kipping pull ups?
Strict pull ups.
Strict pull ups. You hear that, guys? Strict pull ups.
Is very important. Is very important because you want to be able to have the strength there. I'd say like if you wanted to be able to like do a very like, even if it was like a rough movement of the muscle up, I would say maybe like somewhere between 5 and 10 straight pull.
Okay.
As far as
and then what else do we need to learn?
Dips, right? Because like you just said, dips and pull up, the most important things when trying to culminate the muscle up. It's literally both of those things.
How many dips?
I'd say maybe about like the same range. Same range. Strict unassisted dips.
Dips. How many? 7 to 10?
Between 7 to 10.
Okay. 7 to 10 dips. Strict, not kipping. Ooh.
Yeah.
And not kipping on the pull-ups.
Not kipping on the pull-ups.
Strict.
Yeah.
Why is that important?
I would just say really more to just so that there's assurance there.
Okay.
Assurance there. You want to be sure that you have the physical capacity and strength to be able to make sure that you get yourself up and over there.
Yes.
Just as a safety precaution.
Absolutely.
really more than anything.
I think safety is a key thing.
It is
right. It's one of the things that we appreciate: safety, technique, and intensity. So as we look at gymnastics, I know you it's just kind of ironic, not by coincidence, but right across from gymnastics, if you look on the board here, at the pyramid is serve.
Serve.
That's pretty cool.
So
not that we're going to touch too much on serve, but I think it's serving is a big piece. I think just the heart you have behind serve. But there was another piece that you brought up to me earlier about the verse. I think you were mentioning.
Well, it's really more of like a convenient thing. Yeah, it's a small thing, but I thought it was cool because back in my early at the time, I don't want to call it faith, but back when I was first getting introduced to just the Christian faith and what that looks like and putting that into practice.
Yes.
One of the first verses that I ever actually started memorizing was our gym's verse, Galatians 5:13.
Wow.
Which is actually the verse correlated to serve on our pyramid.
Wow.
For you, brethren, having called to liberty, only do not use liberty as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another.
Wow. Serve one another in love.
Yeah.
Right?
It's really more of a convenient thing than anything. Yeah. I just thought that was cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, because we have an opportunity to do a lot of things in our Christian walk. God doesn't make us robots, but the opportunity to use our freedom, our liberty as believers to now pour into other people and serve. And that kind of segues into your transition of, we're going to kind of fast forward your years as an athlete.
Yes.
And then now coming on and now you get a coach. That's pretty coach. That's pretty cool.
It is pretty coach.
Cool coach, right? For now you to get a coach and you got to sit on the sidelines and be that athlete. Now, then we're still athletes, right? We still get to look and learn and be good students of the game. But now tell me how that transitions, because what do you coach?
I coach our kids in our teens class. And then here and there, about like 2 days a week, like personal training with some more kids.
Yes. And starting with our kids in our teens, it's important to move up this hierarchy. We start with nutrition, we go into mobility, we go into endurance, and then right here at gymnastics, why is that important for our youth to? Because you get a lot of the kids that come in, they want to bang out those weights. Weight sports, right? They want to hang out the top two. Give me weights, give me my sport. Baseball, we've had all the different sport kids, tennis. But why do we bring them back to those pieces of the pyramid? And gymnastics is right there in the middle. Why is it important for them to get that?
I mean, for me personally, why I see that it's so important is because, right, so you have weights, weights that you move around, throw around, pick up, put down, drop, or whatever. But then there's your own personal weight, your body weight.
Your body weight, yes.
A lot of people want it, like you were saying, the kids. I see our kids come in all the time, and the first thing they want to do is run over those dumbbells and try to pick them up.
All the time.
I always have to go over there and be like, hey, no, don't do that.
Yes.
Because obviously the strength isn't there yet.
Yes.
But that's why it's important. Their strength, their personal strength in their body, whether it's the strength in their back, their legs, their arms, wherever. Strengthening those pieces, I think, are important because that it increases the capacity that you have, to be able to lift other weights.
That's right. And I see that sometimes you've had some of the kids doing air squats or PVC pipe back squats. I've seen you do. Before even putting a barbell on the back. Well, and tell me a little bit about why that's important. Why do we do that?
It's just another safety piece.
Safety. Okay.
It's safety.
It's good. It's good to keep our youth safe, guys. It's good to keep our youth safe. They need to be safe. They're not always safe. They're going to be safe when they're in our building.
Do whatever they're going to want to
do. Sometimes we got to be the no, don't do that right now, right?
It's not your time yet.
Not your time. We see in coaching that a lot of time is holding people back, but not just kids, adults. Sometimes those adults are big old kids. These adults, right? And so I think it's important to that you've come a long way in your coaching. But I think just like in the ministry, when you are teaching ministry, it's breaking it down to simplify to a youth, to a kid. And when you teach a movement, we have to do the same thing. Some of the same tactics that you teach the kids of the anger gorilla. That looks so weird and funny and hilarious, that it does get us in the right position, right?
Yeah, it does.
Show us an angry gorilla.
Angry gorilla.
Watch this, guys. Wow. He's going to show you an angry gorilla. This is what this is. And make your noise. Look at that. Let's get a... And look at his position. Grab that kettlebell for a deadlift. Right there. Just imaginary kettlebell.
Imaginary kettlebell.
And look at that back position. And angry gorilla, beat your chest. Sad gorilla. Anger gorilla. Sad gorilla. There it is, guys. Perfect. Give Adam a round of applause. Now look at that. You know how weird that may seem to all of us. And
there's my moment of embarrassment.
If you want to be a great coach, and you have to be embarrassed in humility, which is a whole nother podcast of how humble you have to be, because our core values, that's another podcast. But all wrapped in one, we have to use these tactics to keep our kids safe. And I think it's us. It works from the bottom up. And if we're not doing it from the top, in teaching that, then I think it, and we do it in our practice, then it's not getting passed down to the youth. And so if our youth are doing it from the bottom up inside teaching and going into their sport in their later years, maybe in college and maybe professional as a professional athlete, these things are important in their journey at different levels. Okay, so gymnastics, huge piece. You've been here for quite some time. When we look at gymnastics and we look at the body awareness, why do people skip this piece in their journey? Why would you say? Why do they put this piece off? And because right after endurance is weights. Let me get there. Why do they skip this?
I guess it just depends on the person, right?
Okay.
You have people who for them are limited to how much they can move with their own body weight.
Okay.
And then you have other people, who aren't as limited as other people, but who are so antsy to wanting to. There's a certain excitement about being able to know that you can bench press 200 pounds or deadlift 400 pounds or just there's something about that goes to a person's head about knowing just being able to pick up heavy weights and stuff. But if you neglect your own personal body weight, right? I mean, because I'm about 5'6", 5'7". I'm really small and I don't have a lot of size on me, but I've strengthened my body so much to where I almost on a daily throw around weights that are double my size.
Yes.
Double my own weight.
Yes.
But that just comes from years of strengthening, whether my back, my core, arms, legs, and all those other things.
Yes.
So I mean,
that's huge. Yeah, because that's a good point. Because if you said you've been here 8 years and probably 7 of it as an athlete, 6 or 5 of it as a youth, I mean, there's a lot of years that you put in repetition. The uncommon human is all about being separated from the world, doing the common uncommonly well, and just staying in your lane and doing the basics. And I think over the years, we've seen you in the teens doing the basics, right? Being a good student, being able to listen and abide in the pyramid, which has helped you over the years of not getting injured. Now,
I don't think I've ever gotten
I don't
injured
think you've gotten injured. I can't think of an injury that you've had. But I think it's smart to be able to have a grip on the bottom 3 layers. We're working always on 1 or 2 or all of them, right? At any given time. Right now, I know it's a big thing of your nutrition, right?
Nutrition is a big thing.
We're in
right
a
now.
challenge right now. We're trying to eat these puppies right here. Tupperware, right?
Yeah.
How many of these can we load in Adam's body, right?
Oh man,
So
much.
so food. And so there's always from the bottom of the pyramid to the next piece of being mobile, and then the endurance you love, and then back to gymnastics is like your bread and butter. And your weights have been getting better. You've been lifting,
Yes.
you've been stronger, and it's been making you stronger overall as a coach, stronger as a person, and most importantly, stronger for the Lord, because the overall faith and fitness, the fitness method is kind of been embodied in you. You've been able to minister that to people without even knowing that you're ministering to them. And that's cool, because it's taken some time, and people don't realize that time under tension, everyone, right, Coach?
Takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time, and enjoy. We always say enjoy the journey. It's much sweeter than the arrival. So enjoy. There's all these nuggets that God shows us along the way. So he's going to give you a kiss on the little forehead of yours, right? And then just keep enjoying those short little goals. But what would you like leave our viewers with kind of how they can start? What's some maybe a basic routine that they can start on some gymnastics? What would you have them do?
Push-ups.
Okay.
Push-ups. I mean, even if it's, if it's off your knees.
Okay.
If you gotta, lean against a wall.
Okay.
Whatever you can do.
So you guys can do push-ups. What else?
Push-ups. Ring rows. Ring rows are always
Ring rows.
Yeah.
What else?
Air squats.
Air squats.
Air squats. Lunges. Step-ups.
Step-ups. I think that's a good five. Let's stay with the Fab Five.
Yeah.
Let's go with the Fab Five. And then how do you combination? How can they do that at home?
At home, you can grab a chair.
Okay.
Grab a chair, any, like a box or whatever you got, for your.
We would set them up as like an AMRAP or a rounds or.
AMRAP, you can do it in rounds.
Give me some reps. Give me some reps of these 5 movements.
Maybe like 15 air squats.
15.
10 lunges.
Okay.
10 lunges. 20 step ups.
Okay.
20 step ups. 10 push ups. Maybe like 5 ring rows.
Cool. All right.
Is that all 5?
Yep. If we don't want to do the ring rows, let's take the ring rows out and let's put a burpee.
Burpee.
Because they can.
Burpees are always good.
Let's do a
burpees
burpee.
are good for any occasion.
Awesome. So they'll do that for how many minutes?
Yeah, I mean like 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. And I know you guys have 10 minutes on your hands. You can do that in the morning. You can do it at night. You can do it in your lunch break. Wherever you're at, be prepared. Lunch break. Make sure you get a towel off. 10 minutes. You could be pouring sweat.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're like me, having tons of dirty clothes of just sweating in this gym. But there you go. I think that's a good routine.
Yeah,
I think so. For them. I think gymnastics is an important piece. Body awareness is an important piece. Don't forget that piece of gymnastics before moving forward into weights, guys. That's it for gymnastics. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Coach Adam Castillo is on the loose. Give him a ring. He's coaching our teams, our kids, some of the adults. So keep us in prayer. Keep Adam in prayer, and come on out and join us for the Uncommon Human. We are doing the common uncommonly well all the time because God is good. Thank you.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video as much as possible. And visit our exclusive Facebook community where Derek offers training videos and other valuable content to help you grow through faith and fitness. And don't miss out on a free 12-week nutrition guide. Just go to smiletoday.fitness. That's smiletoday.fitness.